program is for training purposes in TV news education. Some copyrighted material is used and is credited on screen. However, no more was taken than was necessary to tell the story of the event. YBA claims fair use of materials.
Hi, welcome to Wicked Teen. I'm Daniel Pedlonsky. Today, on the first show of Wicked Teen, we talked to Representative David Linsky. After that, the WEEI sports personality, John Meter-Perel, comes in to talk to us. And finally, we talked to a local Natick dance studio. All that and more on Wicked Teen. Don't go anywhere.
This is a talk show for teens, and we have some great interviews for you lined up.
We are also anxious to hear from you about what you would like to talk about. So you can call us or on our Skype line at YBA Talk or 508-202-4779.
We'll be looking for things other teenagers might want to talk about from the Metro West towns of Natick, Framingham, Ashland, Hopkinton, Holliston, Hudson, and all of the boroughs. Marlborough, Westborough, Northborough, Southborough.
And don't think we will avoid you, Wayland, and Sudbury too.
First up, it's prom season. Going to yours?
I'm not a senior yet, so no.
Okay, me either. But in Holliston, they held their prom last night on Friday, May 18th in Boston at the Fairmount Copley Plaza Hotel. Seniors were decked out in their best fashions for the night. Music and food, all sorts of awkward moments and fun, I guess. This couple was dressed up as a Hollywood period couple. Dan, comments?
Well, that's actually pretty sick. I like that. I'd rock the bowler hat and the cane if I had the chance.
Yeah, I would probably wear that dress. It's pretty sweet.
Well, every Saturday from now until the fall, the Natick Common comes alive with the Farmers Market. On Saturday, May 12th, to kick off the Farmers Market season, there was a health and fitness expo. Exhibitions in martial arts, personal training, mini golf, dance works, performed a flash mob also, along with many other organic foods and healthy stuff to do.
It seems you can't talk about it seems you can't talk about sports these days without mentioning the word concussion. On the YBA Emmy-nominated show, K-Sports New England, we talked with one of the premier doctors about concussions, Dr. Neil McGrath.
A concussion is a mild injury to the brain. It comes when a person has a collision or a fall of some sort where force is imparted to the brain. It can either happen through a direct hit to the head, or it can happen when someone takes a hard body blow. Once a concussion happens, what happens is that there's a chemical change in the brain. The brain's metabolism changes, and until that chemical change goes back to normal, you can expect someone to have symptoms and not to be able to function as well as they normally would. Well, we can think of concussion symptoms as being in 4 categories. There's cognitive symptoms, which would include trouble with attention, concentration, forgetfulness, trouble remembering what you read. There's physical symptoms like headaches, dizziness, trouble with your balance, maybe nausea, and even visual changes like visual blurring can happen. Thirdly, there's emotional or behavioral changes where people might feel more irritable, grouchy, depressed, out of sorts. And lastly, there's sleep problems where even someone who normally sleeps very well can have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, and then that can contribute to the other problems you're having during the day.
Hey, Max. Today we're welcoming Max Block from Westborough High School. Max, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. So you have a friend on your high school lacrosse team. Max is a varsity player. your friend's name is Sam Rosenthal?
Yep.
So you said that you couldn't describe his hit, but could you describe other hits for us so that we know what a concussion hit is?
Definitely. So Sam's just one of the players on the team, but there have actually over the season there's been a bunch of players, both varsity, JV players from freshmen to seniors, who have experienced concussions and symptoms of concussions. And the thing about the hit isn't always necessarily that bad. Sometimes there's the crunching hit where you see the two helmets hit each other and you just know that one of them, if not both players, are going to be getting up pretty slowly. But sometimes there's the less big hits, the smaller hits that can actually be just as bad. So you can't always tell by a hit. It's usually by how the player gets up, how they respond after it. I mean, sometimes you have a player who doesn't get hit that hard, but as they're getting up, they're wobbling a little bit or a little dizzy, not sure where they are. So definitely the hits can vary, but concussions can come basically from any hit.
So has Sam returned to school yet?
Sam has not returned to school, and he hasn't been playing for us for the past couple weeks. He got a pretty bad one. He didn't really know where he was afterwards and was a little, he couldn't really get up, wasn't too stable walking by himself. But I've talked to him, I've seen him over the last couple weeks, and he's been getting better. And we're hoping that he'll be able to make a full recovery and get back on the field as soon as possible.
That's awesome. I read an article where it said that his mom didn't think that he was going to be getting back. What do you think? Do you think that he'll be okay?
Well, I think he'll be okay in the long run. Unfortunately, our season, at least the regular season, ends this Wednesday is our last game, and then we'll go on to the district playoffs and see how we make out there. But as for Sam, his season might be over. Luckily, he's only a sophomore, so he has a couple more seasons to come back. And you know, concussions are scary. They're scary to see as a teammate and as a friend, and even scarier. Luckily, I haven't had to experience it, but as the player who gets the concussion, it's got to be a scary thing, especially for parents. It's something that it's hard to come back from. But personally, I believe that it's part of the game, and although you need to take extreme precautions for them as the players and as the coaches and the training staff at the school, but I certainly hope that anyone who gets one has the courage to come back and try and keep playing if their health allows them.
Yeah, I actually got a concussion in the winter soccer season, and I didn't even know what was going on. Thankfully, I didn't black out, but I just got cleared, and I've been doing some sports. I've been doing dance, so it's been a tough ride. I was out for a week, but yeah. So does your school actually attend to the concussed kids well? Do they give them some special help?
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I can only speak for lacrosse because it's the only sport that I played at the high school this year, but it seems every year they're getting more strict and more cautious about head hits and basically any hit on the body, because everyone reads those stories, those freak accidents where unfortunately some kids can never play again or have actual disabilities for the rest of their life. But our school does a real good job. We sort of have the policy that we'd rather have a healthy kid not play than a kid who is concussed actually get on the field. So I'm sure that over the season there's been some kids who probably were good enough to go on the field, but we're very cautious at Westboro, and it seems to be that way for most schools. And we'd rather take those players off and not potentially put them at risk for further damage and anything like that.
That's great. So personally, you're a senior, correct?
Yep.
So where are you going to be going to college?
I will be attending the Newhouse Communication School at Syracuse next year.
It's awesome.
That's awesome, nice.
It's really good.
Are you going to play there?
Unfortunately, I'm not quite good enough to play at Syracuse, but I'll try and get involved in intramurals or maybe a club program, and I'll definitely attend the varsity games for sure.
That's great.
Yep.
Good luck to you. So thanks for talking with us.
My pleasure.
So, bye, Max.
See you later.
So, Hannah, do you spend any time on Facebook?
Yes, I do.
So, did you buy any stock?
No, I didn't.
Well, yesterday was the IPO, or initial public offering to buy stock in Facebook. Each share opened at $38, and it jumped to $45 during the day, which raised over $16 billion for Mark Zuckerberg. That jumped to $45 during the day, and at the end of the day, it stopped at $38.23. Now, Bono, the lead singer of U2, bought a whole bunch of stock on the first day. He ended up with 2.3% of the total shares he traded, worth as much as $1.5 billion, which can oust Paul McCartney as the world's richest musician.
Speaking of music, over in Wayland today, the annual Plugged In concert to the world is being streamed on the internet. Plugged In is an after-school music program in Needham that held their concert here at YBA last year. And this year, they're in Wayland, rockin' and rollin'.
Speaking of rock stars, there's a local politician that is very well known in this area. His name is Representative David Linsky. Coming up after the break, YBA reporter Evan Berkowitz will talk with him.
I'm Max Kleiman for YBA Sports.
Giving young people the chance and the training to be young broadcasters. That's how YBA started.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Back Talk Entertainment.
So Ashley, why are businesses using Facebook?
Well, the really cool thing about Facebook...
Over 370 hours of live student-produced webcast, including the first professional sports event broadcast entirely by kids. That is only the beginning of the story of Young Broadcasters of America. Parents rave about their child's improvement in confidence, poise, and communication skills. But it doesn't come as any surprise to us because we teach Generation Techs how to talk using TV broadcast skills, and the results are amazing.
This is the oral communications piece that nobody else has.
With a whole generation communicating more through technology than face-to-face, Young Broadcasters of America has created a curriculum for voice articulation that is now available at YBA Online.
SKYPE stands for inflection, pronunciation, intonation, and enunciation.
Connecting professional broadcasters with young people has given the next generation of TV talent an edge in communication, in school, and in life.
What opportunity do you have as a kid to get in front of a camera, to get behind a mic, to learn how to actually do it? This is the only opportunity he's ever had.
Justin, it's good to be sitting right next to you.
Nice to be here.
They learned everything. They learned behind the camera, in front of the camera, editing, just so much poise, and they really enjoyed it. It was an awesome experience.
Perhaps best of all, the young people who train with Young Broadcasters of America have a blast creating a new kind of cool.
Oh! And that's how we do it at YBA.
Once I was introduced to the whole broadcasting world a year and a half ago, I realized this is what I want to do.
You bring the personality within your heart out onto the set, and you show everyone who you really are. Now his old friends are helping to honor Ace Bailey's name.
He was a very important part of our team, but more importantly, he was a great friend to all of us.
YBA builds confidence, develops communication skills so necessary in life. Now, YBA is bringing its training to adults and the corporate community, which is desperate to undo what technology has done. For more information about Young Broadcasters of America, log on to youngbroadcasters.com or call 508-650-2000.